Hello, babies.
Yeah, in theory, you'd like to think with a David Pastrnak and Taylor Hall, some of the most gifted scorers the league has, you'd be able to carry that weight. But ask Ray, I've been asking this of David Pastrnak for a number of years now, that it's nice when you pile up some hat tricks in the regular season or first round playoff, game 2, you go off. But what's Pasternak's track record when he's been put in these positions where he has to elevate the team with his play? I would argue they're not great. They're not terrible, but they're not great. He needs to prove himself right now. I think it starts right now.
He can't. The one thing he can't do is try to do too much. Because when he does that, he starts getting too fancy, making stupid moves, just turns it over in the high zone, and then just an odd man rush the other way. And that's a difference maker in the NHL. So
yeah, no, it's true. It's a good point. He needs to find a spot and shoot. That's just what he needs to do. and score. And score when he shoots.
Sit in the circle just the whole game, please.
A little earlier, but let's finish with it was the NBA trade deadline today. So the NHL is coming up a month or so away. Do you feel like the Bruins, the rumors are out there. I think they've been testing the waters. Is this stretch here without Marchand and Bergeron, could that sway them one way or another? Or do you think that they're full on buyers at the deadline here?
So it all depends and it's not necessarily dependent on this stretch of games without Marchand. It's how the back end of the season goes, because they're a borderline team right now. They're at the back end of the East. They're in a wild card spot. So they have to be 500 or above. And throughout this 6-game stretch, I predict them going 3-3 because it's just a tough stretch of games. You have the Avalanche, you got the Rangers, you got the Hurricanes tonight. Like, those are tough games. And without your top 2 guys, it's going to be way harder.
Yeah.
I do think that they will stick with the same game plan going to the deadline, because I do think that they're going to make it into the playoffs. And to kind of trail back on our last discussion from last podcast, they will do 2 trades, and one will be for a big piece, including 3 or 4 parts, and the other will be for a smaller piece, including maybe 1 to 3 parts.
Whoa.
And I think their big get is JT Miller, and then they will go for a lower end defenseman, and the guy that fits it perfectly for me is Nick Leddy.
That's some big predictions right there, Blake. You see it happening with the rumblings?
We will not get rid of Jeremy Swayman. We will not get rid of Jeremy Swayman or Fabian Lysell. I'm sorry, but Jack Studnicka is going to go. Jake DeBrusk, obviously, and first round pick, and the second round pick for that big trade.
That's what you think it's going to take, though?
Yeah.
Something along like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And are you okay doing it? Do you think that pushes them into a chance where if things bounce their way, they could potentially compete this year? Because when you say giving away a first and second round pick, and we've had this conversation, Bergeron looks like he's about to call it quits.
Yep.
It's not the time to be dumping first round picks. And they haven't made one in, a few years. They've been giving away, first round picks like candy over the last 5 or 6 years. So that's a tough call for me. I mean, I like JT Miller. Sure. He's a good age. He's a good contract. He fits what you need at the center position. But that's a tough ask if you want a first and second round pick in the position the Bruins are in.
The thing that's driving me to make the decision that they're going to just go all in at the deadline is Don Sweeney's on the last year of his contract. So he's not guaranteed anything after this year. He could just go balls to the wall.
Yeah. Money talks, as they say. So,
and if he makes some big moves and it ends up panning out well for him, then he's going to get another contract. So that might be his motive.
Yeah.
Would you bring Don Sweeney back, though? Would you bring Don Sweeney back after just without a big trades or anything like that? They finished the season first round exit. Do you bring him back?
No. No, I meant to say yes. I would bring him back.
Freudian slip, sure. Fire Don Sweeney.
Jesus. No, because if Sweeney goes, then Bruce Cassidy's out, and I love Bruce Cassidy. Quite frankly, he's a phenomenal coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I just a lot of it for me will depend on what it looks like and where they are. If they're a playoff team at the deadline, they'll buy. We'll see how how aggressive they want to be in that pursuit. But then come the playoffs, I mean, if it's another first round exit or they get stomped in the second round again, you're churning in the mud. Bill floated this on our program before. If Bergeron retires, I'd see what kind of haul you could get from Marchand and just start over with McAvoy, Pasternak, and Lysel, and those are your guys, and you build from there.
I'd only take a franchise guy for Marchand. Obviously, it'd have to be a package, but I'd only trade away Marchand for franchise guys like McDavid, Austin Matthews, Jonathan Huberdeau, Leon Draisaitl.
He's in his he would be in his mid-30s, a top 5 player in the league, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
And you're at a position of complete rebuild. He doesn't fit that team, and he's the fastest way to rebuild with the type of compensation you could get back for him. So I think
if
I know that
is that we're full rebuild, that's a great way to go about it. Trade Marchand away, bring in some young assets.
Like you're going to lose Chara for nothing, Krejci for nothing, Tuukka for nothing. You're going to lose Bergeron for nothing. You're going to lose that entire core. You're going to let them walk and, do the romantic hockey thing and let these guys walk out. Chara didn't do it as a Bruin. Krejci went and played overseas. Tuukka left as a Bruin at a desperate times, it feels like. And we'll see what happens with Bergeron. I just look at that and go, Jesus, like out of, you got Marchand here. Can you salvage something? At the end of these guys' careers, that's would be something to think about.
Well, especially since we got rid of all those first round picks too. You have nothing. You have no young guys coming up, so that would be a haul to get. That you could get some draft picks back in return if you traded Marchand.
Something to think about. We're not there yet though, so we got a game tonight, and I know you're gearing up to watch that, Blake. So we'll let you fly.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for coming, man.
Soon.
Yeah, definitely. Take care, guys.
See ya
later.
This hat makes my face look so fat.
Or
don't.
Okay, it's the hat that makes your face look fat.
Hold on.
Oh, fuck yeah, it's the hat. It was the hat. Oh, wow.
Thanks, Ray. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.